What's good, unapologetic gang? Today we're going to talk about the pitfalls of being too honest. Most of us have that really good heart. We are just open. We're happy to just kind of share any information anybody asks. Here we're able to just spit it out. Yeah, you need something. I went here. Oh, they told me this. This is a season where things are changing, and it was just pressed upon me to just complete this teaching for myself, and why not share it with other people. So all right, guys, the first is when we're shooting off at the mouth, we have to understand what are some of the ways of the enemy, what are some tactics that the enemy uses to try to mess us up. And here I went through a bit of a deep kind of, God, what other stories, what stories do we have? And the first is when we have to understand what is the enemy and who is the enemy going to use, or how is the enemy going to get us to open up our mouths and start talking. So the first thing is when we're shooting off with the mouth, it happens when we're just like not thinking, we're just saying stuff. Now, a lot of us in our most comfortable moments are happy to just be like, up, and that girl was looking, ba, 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 ba. And I had this to say to her, like, girl, you should be not worried about that. Like, just mind your business. Make minding your business a full-time job, right? It says that in 1 Thessalonians 4:11 that we should make it a goal to live a quiet life, okay? And just be minding our own business. Like, that's important to most of us. Okay, there we go. I'm like losing my voice. All right, so it's really important that we understand what that looks like, right? So shooting off at the mouth, this happened in Luke verse 29, chapter 29 through 8. So what happened was Jesus took 3 of his disciples to go and pray. And he ran and he saw Moses and Elijah. And so without even speaking, Peter's like, oh my gosh, we should make a monument for all 3 of you. And all of a sudden there was a dark cloud that he just felt this sense of doom. Now this is paraphrasing. I'm taking this from the New Living Translation. My King James Version is over there on my table. But I just thought, okay, wow, that's really interesting, right? We sometimes are shooting off at the mouth. The next thing that came to me was, in this vein of being comfortable, is a very famous story of Job. This happened in Genesis 37. Job is just like, oh my gosh, yeah, I just had this dream, and oh my gosh, like I found out that you guys were going to be bowing down to me. Like, what? I was the lesser, and all of a sudden, look at that. And this is how we get into a lot of problems. The next is, the enemy is going to try to use seduction. Let's even look to and torment. Oh my goodness. Both of these are seen in the story of Samson and Delilah in Judges 16. So how does this even happen? In Judges 16, Samson falls in love with Delilah, and she's like, okay, you just keep making fun of me. Now I'm going to tie your hair up to the bed, and you're going to tell me how you get your power. She's seducing him, and he already had issues because he was hooking up with prostitutes, and we already saw that video anyways. But really focusing on the torment. The enemy is gonna come and do all kinds of stuff. Like, okay, so she tied his hair up to some linen, so he literally could not move. He was like chained. This may happen in a situation with relatives, family members, ex-friends, that when you're coming out of the wilderness, they may torment you with stuff just to like tell them what you're doing, tell them what your vision is, tell them where you're going or what vision you saw. If you're getting this in your spirit to just keep quiet, just keep quiet right now. It's not so easy. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you with that. It's not so easy to keep quiet. It's actually super difficult when something good is coming your way, when something great has happened, when you have this vision, when you want to share about how you get your power, and these are all examples in the Bible. Job, was like, hey, I saw this vision. I'm so excited. But we just want to keep quiet and mind our own business and make minding our business a full-time job. We want to keep, I will say that again, we want to keep our minds and everything to ourselves, and we want to stay employed. It's a full-time job. So just like staying focused and maintaining in our own lane is what's going to get us, is going to aid us and assist us. Because staying too honest, anybody has, we've been in the wilderness, and so let's be honest, most of us are not in a space where we're gonna be like, oh yeah, this happened, and oh, you know, like we're always moving, and either psychologically or physically. In most of our cases, we're nomading, or we're doing what we need to do, right? But when we're keeping in this season this silence about ourselves, it almost feels like it's the people where you let your guard down that come in. We're usually already, like somebody said in a word, starchy, just kind of hard, and not really like, oh hey, we're not very permeable, and we're friendly, but to a point. It's just like, hey, how's it going? Bye, gotta mind my own business, see you later. And this is it. This is why it's so important for us right now to just coming out of this wilderness, coming into a new season, coming into the stage of preparation. Things are going to happen so quick. Sometimes we don't have time to really vet a lot of people. Sometimes it's just an impulse, and you haven't even asked, you know, you didn't even go and pray about it, or you didn't have time to just like, you know, be in a space and really talk to God and say like, yo, what's up? Like, can I share this? It just is like, oh my gosh. And then you want to go and tell the next person. So being too honest can come at a fault. We have to remember, not everybody, even if we're transferring on some of our positive attributes and qualities, but not everybody is on the same page and table as us. And this is like what causes most problem. We have a tendency to believe or project that most people are on the same page as us. Oh, okay, I'm honest. She come from a good family. Let me just tell her what this prophetic word that I just usually tell everybody else. Just sometimes it's just best, Job, to just not tell people a dream or a vision. Sometimes it's best, Samson, that, you know, this really handsome person who's wanting to know, hey, what's you doing? What kind of business information? I don't know how this is going to happen in your life. Sometimes we don't know yet. But this is something that we have to keep in mind, because like I said, this is something for me as well, like just kind of being super honest, but saying less is actually better. So I bless you. I pray that God continues to bless you this season, that every prophetic word will come to pass in its divine timing. And I thank you guys for just tuning in. God bless you. See you next time.